All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Super Speedway Xfinity Series here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me here tonight because Boomer Logan's doing some real racing this weekend, doing a 14-hour race at Daytona International Speedway. So super excited to be able to kind of follow his progress on that one. So good luck to you, Boomer. Hope you guys have a blast and just have fun, man. Have fun with it. So this is race number 2 of the playoffs against 4 races. So this is going to, after time, will be the halfway point. And so kind of leading into it, we'll go ahead and jump into those point standings right off the bat here. Also have to bring in my partner in crime, Mr. Matt Wagner, as I'm familiar with him on Sunday nights. But you see in the points, though, Kevin Freeze with a 1-point lead over Gabe Butler. Eric Laurie there in third, 4 points out. Only 7 points for Adam Kilday, Andrew Pleshy, Dean Wilkinson. There are only 9 outs. I mean, again, it's one race, so a lot of these guys are going to be in pretty close proximity with each other, unfortunately. And again, the other thing I do want to mention is you kind of see how there's over 20 drivers marked in the playoffs, or there are 20 drivers, I should say, marked in playoffs. Basically, that was because it was easier to just add the drivers because there were a few drivers that actually gave up their spots due to being unable to make the races. So that's what you see for some of those guys. So I do have to kind of give them a shout out for a Jacob Lee, Justin Lewis, Keith Horner, and so on. Some of those guys just weren't able to make it. Say, hey, I'm giving up my spot. Let someone who can actually make all Final Four races be a part of it. So big shout out to those guys for kind of giving. Like I said, it's never fun to do, but I like the camaraderie and the friendship that we see in this league. So, but Matt, 75 laps here at Daytona. Obviously, still a little on the narrower side, but nowhere near like what Atlanta was last week. And I'll say it's pretty much the only track we can do the night races at, so it should be a fun one here.
Well, like I said, Daytona is its own animal. I call Daytona like just a 2-lane racetrack. Sometimes 3. My 3 can be really sketchier. Uh, I usually prefer Talladega. That's just me. Uh, well, I expect. Yeah,
I'll say, is this where we do Matt's picks?
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I've been doing really good with those picks lately, but
That's with Boomer, not with me. So
yeah, I know, but I really don't want to jinx anybody. Let's- let me think about it a little bit further because I've been
no
thinking about
pressure.
it just before we went live. Oh, yeah, always pressure.
But yeah, no, and you're exactly right though. So I mean, that's like come playoff time, and yeah, you're just like, all right, who do you think? And the thing is, I mean, pretty much it's if they're on the lead lap in the main pack, coming to 2 to go, 1 to go, whatever it may be, there's a good chance that any of those guys could be the winner in these races. So it's kind of putting yourself in the right position at the right time and kind of doing everything right. We saw that last week. I was able to kind of watch a little bit of it and then check the results. And I'll say the Bootknockers pretty much did a clinic there. They were able to get 1 through 4 there, which is obviously a kind of a huge feather in their cap to do that. And you can also see there was no real preferential treatment, if you will, with Brian Wang being a non-playoff driver getting the win. So they were dedicated to, hey, we're going to stick with this. I'm not going to Brian wasn't going to roll over to let Kevin or Gabe or Eric by. It was just like, hey, I'm out front, and that's just kind of how it wound up being, and that was how they ran out to the end. So kind of pretty crazy, but also pretty cool how, again, they're a team. There's no greed at the end. All right, so Ryan says don't pick him.
Wow.
Caitlin's also shooting her shot at him too. So it's a tough crowd over there with the Decker family, unfortunately. So hope they're doing well though. I know we've been able to chat with them here and there, and so obviously a great group of people there. But with that, Matt, let's pull up our starting grid, as it will be Kevin Freeze on the pole here tonight with the 49.641. Gabe Butler just under 100th of a tenth off. Richard Sanchez, Dean Wilkinson, Jack Walls are top 5. Then you got Eric Laurie, Tom Dixon, Jim Brooks, Carl Lingle, and Ambrose Nabel there are top 10. Mike Remkes, Nick Wing there 11th and 12th. Continuing down, You've got 13th is Brandon Briggs, and then these drivers from here on back decided not to qualify, including Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Pileshi, Patrick Groover, Seth Groover, Ryan Decker, Bob Fitzgerald, Bud Steele, Brian Wang, and Adam Kilday. So those are the 22 cars scheduled to run tonight. We'll see if all drivers are able to make the grid. Looks like we still have a couple of stragglers, but hopefully we'll get everybody here.
Speaking of match picks, hopefully we can get a chance to chat with him. Hopefully, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna bring him in here before we go green.
Oh,
Would you agree?
I'm down with it, but actually, you know who I'm gonna grab? I say he's not even looking. We're gonna catch this guy by surprise because I don't even think he's racing.
Really?
So,
Oh no!
I say so.
Really?
We know who's not
Yeah.
gonna win tonight, and that is this driver right here. Well, not driver tonight, spectator Sebastian Marin.
Hello.
Did you miss us?
Can you hear us? Can you hear
Yes,
us?
sir, I can.
Oh, I can barely hear him.
How's
I can.
how are you doing, good sir? You here to cheerlead or crew chief spot, or what's the goal here for you tonight?
To be honest, I'm doing, I'm racing some officials, doing something else, so I'm just there to pass the time and just have fun with them and hopefully not bother them. And if I do and I cause them to wreck, well, then that's good. I'll get a kick out of that, so it'll be funny.
So basically, it'll be Sebastian Marin, the peanut gallery tonight with the boot knockers.
Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
god!
I love it. Well, I'll say, yeah, tonight's one of the NIS races, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Oh, I'm not doing NIS.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's Martinsville, too. Yeah, good luck with that one.
No, I'm not touching Martinsville.
Well, sir, okay, well, Matt doesn't make his picks because we don't want to jinx anybody. So what's the Sebastian Marin jinx pick for tonight?
Ooh, jinx pick? Oh, I want to jinx.
It has to be a
Kevin.
boot knock driver.
What do you mean? I'm jinxing the heck out of Kevin.
No,
Kevin has his new rig and everything, so
really.
He's all
Yes.
shiny and
it
fancy.
took him like 8 hours to arm it.
Oh my
So, yeah,
god. Well, yours is rusty, so
I was going to say, yeah, say Seabass is rocking the Rusty rig, so I'll say shout out to him for sticking with it. All right, man. We'll go have some fun with them. Give them hell, and I'll say I look forward to seeing who gets on top. So enjoy it, though, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I always enjoy chatting with Seabass.
yeah, I know you do. But Seabass made his pick. I'm gonna make my pick here tonight. And let's see, where is he at? Let's see if I can find him. He's mirrored all the way back in 18th spot. I'm gonna go with Ryan Decker, who's still looking for that elusive victory #1. He is my pick here tonight to spoil the party.
Kaylin's gonna have words for you after that one, but
No,
that's...
I won't. I am not jinxing Caitlin. This is pure 100%. Let's do it. And by the way, green flag is out in here. We're racing here at Daytona.
Yeah, we are down and away. Looks like all 22 drivers are on the grid and rolling. So far, like I said, so far so good. I say the inside line, 25 and the 5, and I say I know we're going to see him here in a little bit. And that's going to be the fan club of that number 5 car of Richard Sanchez, because Richard's definitely, I say he's got a pretty good following with his family, and I say I love to see it. So we got one already going down the
that's
infield.
illegal.
Oh, and yeah, that car's not going to be having a good time. What happened to Carl here? Let's go back and we'll take a look. Focusing on Carl, we'll get a little bit of a further shot out back. Oh, it looks like he and Eric Laurie just a little bit of door to door, and that just throws the 30 down. And unfortunately, it's off the racing surface, and so it's going to stay green, but completely throws the front clip off that car. He's actually already hitting pit road, so we'll jump back live. You can see there's a service being done now.
Oh,
So we'll jump up, go back up front. Apologies, as it's now the five car we just talked about. He has taken the point. Also, I think Mama Groover may be a little upset that you didn't pick one of her boys, although I think she's okay with the not being the jinx.
hey, I am helping Seth Groover out the IndyCar. It's gonna take some time there, Mom. It's not just a just come on in and dominate type thing, but he's learning. By the way, speaking of the 5 car is leading, and right in the caboose is the '05 of Brian Wang starting shotgun on the field.
Yeah, but they started shotgun and hasn't gained a ton of spots yet. But again, I mean, say Brian's just kind of minding his time. I don't think we're not too worried about him yet. He'll find his way
Not
to
yet.
his friends. And look here to the top. I think the 5. He said, "All right, I got my lap led. You guys go right on by. I'm gonna go ahead and basically just try to take care of my stuff here and see how it goes later on in the run." So, I said that's a strategy we've seen a lot, and it's never a bad strategy. So that's going to shake the running order up just a little bit more. Here's look at Jack Walls, that bright yellow car there. He was able to make it tonight. And again, he was one of those drivers that gave up his playoff spot to allow for one of the guys outside because he knew he couldn't make all the races. So definitely, saying if you see Jack, if there's not a yellow car, there's something going wrong. So Jack Rocket and Pennzoil scheme. And Dean Wilkinson, I haven't been able to see him too much on the Sunday side of things, but happy to see him here tonight on Thursdays. And and probably a little biased, I feel like, too, Matt. So he's rocking the green, white checkered paint scheme on there.
Let me check you out here, Dean. Let me go my little camera. Hey, that's pretty nice, but you know what? I'm still a fan of the cherry wine scheme. I'm sorry. That scheme is just
that is a good one.
Red.
Yeah. I have a little bit of connection issue, unfortunately. It looks like for Ambrose Nabel there. I think that is on the top side there behind. Oh, yep, there he goes. Disappears on our screen. So that makes things very nervous for an Adam Kildane. Actually, you see right there, I think he's going third lane. He saw that, and I think probably drivers calling it out, say, hey, you're blinking. It's like, all right, let me move on by, let you guys sneak on through. And again, that's just the respect that we see from these guys. You can see like parts of his car disappear, then they come back. And so I'll say right now, Ambrose is just going to try to basically, I think, get to the back here and cruise and kind of mind his P's and Q's. And then hopefully the internet connection settles back in. He can go for it. But we got a guy going for the third lane all by himself here.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when you're driving right in front of a car blinking all of a sudden. Car's falling apart. Yeah, it's never fun, a good time. By the way, I think Kevin Freeze wants to try and lead a lap here. Well, he did not that time. It was unfortunate that was done by Gabe Butler. He will get his bonus point, and right now is Kevin Freeze on the point now.
And it wouldn't be a super speedway race without the Groovers running the third lane, and that's what they've done. We talked about Brian being up there by himself, Matt. Now he's got some friends. Oh, my goodness. That was Tom Dixon there. I don't know if that was a bump gone wrong or what, but they're going to need to try to get him in. You see Jim, he rolled out of it, let Tom get settled back in, get back in line. So, again, you see some of the sportsmanship these guys have.
Man, if only his brother, just a little bit of nervousness on the bottom of the racetrack there, but it looks like the brothers were trying to get hooked up, but the 54 of Patrick Rivers gave a hell of a push to Brian Wayne there, but they were unable to complete the pass with just only 2 vehicles up to the top. But looks like his brother is catching up to now the brothers are together now. Now let's see how that third lane rolls up to the top of the racetrack now.
So, Matt, they do realize it's lap 7, right?
No, they don't. And Brian Wayne just drops to the second, which is pretty smart. These guys know they have a hell of a lot of racing to go. They don't care. They just go for it. They want to win. I've been trying to win this one of these Area 51 Super Speedway races for a long time.
I don't know. I'm in the mindset of I want to be there at the end. So the guy, and I mean, I say week in, week out. So the car I love right now, right here, that 5 car, he's just a few car lengths off. He's leading the single file line. He led a lap. This is, let's say, if I was the 5, this is the exact strategy I'd be doing as well. So I like what Rick's doing here because he's saving fuel. He's able to have some room to wiggle around if something happens. Again, hopefully not. We want this thing to be exciting and go green. But yeah, I mean, now they settle back into 2x2. But yeah, when they were going 3x3 there for a little bit, that's where I like to be in that single file group a little further back.
Yeah, I do at some certain point, but there's one thing I've learned. If you're not aggressive early in this race, you don't put yourself in position, you ain't going to win this race. That's what I've learned. But it's really tough to do that, especially with these group of drivers.
Yeah, it's a pretty monster group of drivers, and everybody's got their different approaches. Some drivers will push real early. They know that they'll maybe have to pit a lap or two earlier, but again, that could be even a benefit for them. Whereas I usually like to try to pit a lap later than the field if I can. And in that sense, what I'll do is basically I'll save, and then once it gets to that pit window within a couple laps, then I'll jump to that middle or high side, and then try to kind of, because again, you don't want to pit. Like right now, like the cruise control drivers, I'm going to call them right now, are kind of the candy cars. You got Maxwell Calder, Andrew Flesch. I'm pretty sure they're saving fuel right now. But at some point, we're going to see them obviously kind of light the fuse and try to get after it. So, but this is kind of the same thing. Like I would just be cruising, saving fuel, doing kind of just trying to stay safe. But then, yeah, because I don't want to be pitting though, because right now they're probably about, I'd say just about a second off the lead. So any little mistake just kind of just gets even bigger, where it's like, okay, I lost half a second. Well, now instead of it being half a second lost, it's really kind of a net of 1.5 seconds because of the fact that you're already a second back on entry. So that's the kind of the risk reward of laying back. The risk of fronts, obviously 2 wide, 3 wide might get a crash. Here there's risk of losing the draft. So it's, you just kind of figure out which approach you want to take.
Well, from pretty much starting shotgun film from lap 3 to all the way to lap 10. Brian Wang here leads the field with, that only took him, what, 7 laps to get there?
Yeah, something in that range.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good run. I also see the 85 there, Adam Kilday. Same thing. He's running about 19 spots gained, depending kind of where he is in relation to these cars around him. And so he and Brian have worked their way. I mean, again, it shows you can start anywhere in these races to have a chance at them. And then you got guys that said, you know what, I started up front, but I don't want to be up front. Like we talked about Rick, he's down 11 spots from his qualifying position, but he doesn't care. He got his bonus point, and now he knows he's in a safe little pocket. So I like the strategy. Like I said, I like that strategy from him. But again, a lot of these guys, they know each other, they trust each other, and that's why they can do what they're doing here.
Well, speaking of the little mishap we have, what was it, back at lap maybe?
Yeah,
I think
Carl,
I
yeah.
think
1 or 2.
3. Yeah, Carl is now back on track. Now he is being scored 3 laps down to the leader. Unfortunately, that's a really tough break for him. The single car Rex, it did not trigger a yellow. Unfortunately, that was off the racing surface. It did not cause a yellow. He's going to have a tough time to try and get back on the lead lap. So
yeah, no, and unfortunately, and that's the thing, is the way the league runs it here is, outside. Whoa, what is going on? I'm watching Seth Groover here, and I think he might be texting and driving. I'm not sure, because he's wiggling all over the place here. So have to keep an eye on this 32. Yeah, I say if he's texting mom, that might be another thing. But yeah, he was looking a little distracted there. So looks like he settled back in, but just for a moment, I was like, what's going on here with this 32 car? But I say it looks like all back well again. But we've pretty much almost got a train now, Matt. Though looking up front here, still got these guys 2x2 for the first 3 rows, and then it's a huge single file train, as they're going to unfortunately put Carl now down 4 laps. And again, just the way that the way we do it here is with Area 51 is they don't throw admin yellows. It's basically iRacing throws the yellow, because just they try to make it as fair as they can. They don't want anybody like having accusations of, okay, why was this yellow? This wasn't yellow. That was like, hey man, we all have the same fight we got going on. So, and that wiggle, let's hop on board here. Let's jump on to Rick Sanchez and let's watch this little wiggle machine of that 32 of Seth Gruber here.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Not too bad right now, but then he does stuff like that. And, we got some strategy here. Early pit stops, Matt, because they can go into the 20s, but they said, you know what, we're going to short pit this thing.
I was watching the 48 of Fran Decker, my pick, almost get caught speeding there. That looks like by design there.
Oh, no, this is a plan. These guys they're going to try to maybe split this thing evenly instead of going two long stops, 1 short stop, and I think it's a good strategy, because now you can maybe put a little bit less fuel. You see right there, 7.5 seconds of fuel. This is a gamble, but I like it, because they won't lose a lap, and they all come out right together.
That was I'm gonna say I've seen some pit stops done by the boot knocker guys. You know how organized they is, coming on and off pit road. But I'm looking at these guys. That was really, really well executed by those guys.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun to see. And again, I feel like now they can feel like they're in a little bit of a safer pack. I mean, they're gonna be pushing and drafting really hard, but they know exactly what they're going to be doing, working together. So what we got to do is we'll wait a lap or so, man. Then we'll have to compare lap times from, at this point it'll probably be Richard to Gabe and to Brian, because right now Richard's the one leading that pack. Is he and all four have found each other. So, and again, Daytona Talladega, you can pit, not lose a lap. Atlanta iRacing Super Speedway, they probably don't make this gamble. So I like it. They're splitting this race into thirds, it looks like, roughly. And they're trying to do something different and see if maybe it catches some guys off guard.
Yeah, it'll probably throw throw a bone in it. But I'm almost curious to see how everybody else reacts. But I don't think anybody's gonna budge right just yet.
Yeah, so I was doing my bad math, and so basically if you want to kind of split them evenly, you'd have to go about 18 to 19 laps. So they went a little early at lap 14. But they'll still be able to make that back up. So I was hearing about 22 laps is roughly what these guys can make on a green flag stop. So I think what their strategy here is to pit early, kind of take that shorter stop. These guys here that pit next will have a longer pit stop, and potentially, as like I said, once lap times all get squared away here, there's a good chance that they might be running lap times and maybe have a bit of a break from the leaders, or maybe they'll have a couple seconds of a lead as last time by. 46.63 for Richard compared to a 46.98 for Brian, 46.95 for Gabe. So that last time by, they were about 0.3 of a second quicker. So that's already they're doing what they made out to do, and you can see there's not a lot of pushing and shoving this pack. Everybody's got give themselves a little bit of space, maybe a push or two down the straights, but everybody's giving each other about a car length or so. In this pack here, it's pretty much a train. These guys are really tight on each other's bumpers, and like I said, they're going for it here. So you can see also, and so this race, have to be careful though. You try too hard, make a little mistake, get off center, push at the wrong spot, you could be the yellow that you don't want to see. So they got to be a little more careful. Yeah. And it's just that's how it goes. Sometimes you're pushing so hard, but up front though, Brian, like I said, last to first right now, early on, and we're getting to that window here pretty soon, Matt. Probably about 2 laps, I'd say. We'll start to see pretty much the field come in, and I think we'll see a few drivers go that one extra lap. Like I said, I suspect we'll see maybe some of the guys like Maxwell Caldwell could be. I think maybe see them go another lap or two.
I'm very interested to see how this falls out. I want to see how the drivers pit.
They were 4/10 quicker last time by.
Yeah, I'm quite interested.
And look at this though. I'm already seeing the boot knockers. They're starting to get organized. Adam Kilday's down there too. This might be a response right here. We might see them duck in right here potentially. Nope, not yet. But
nope.
Here's the train though. But here's that single file train, Matt. So now, if you're further back in this field here, does somebody go? And it looks like Bud Steele wants to go, but nobody's gone with him. He's going to tuck back in line there in front of Maxwell Caldwell behind Mike Grimkus. And so yeah, so far no takers there. Everybody's pretty content here just to now follow Gabe Butler in the 88 car. So we got a big single file train going.
Yeah.
And lap time wise, Matt, half a second quicker by Richard and them.
Wow. I was watching how much seconds they were at the beginning of this. They gained at least about a second and 0.3 total since they've been on the track. But now,
and expect them to gain more.
Are they going to pit here?
Nope.
No, they're going to stay out. I think maybe you said about 21 laps. So
I heard 22, yeah, but I feel like the guys up front probably 21.
So I expect them to maybe this time by.
Well, and you look too. I mean, you look at the groups here. You got first and second are boot knockers. Fourth is seventh is with Eric Laurie. So they've got their teammates pretty well organized here together. I'm not sure if Adam Kilday's got any association with them or not, but looked like Kevin actually gave him a little bit of slot to hop in line here. And so yeah, I mean, look at this train right now, Matt. You've got what, 17 cars here all just tucked in line, and this also makes pit stops a little scary if you got 17 guys pitting all together. Here they come.
Yep, here they come. There's a response.
We're going to have... Oh, we got one spin in the back.
No, that's my boy. It's Bob Fitzgerald in the back.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, poor Bob, man. Come on,
He's going to be able to
man.
grab a gear, keep going again, but yeah, we'll try to see if we can catch a look to see what exactly happened to Bob here on the entry.
I think he got a little bit too hot there, Gael.
Well, so I'm wondering if he got hot or if he got a little bit of love here. So, and I think there's a miscommunication. Yeah, he got a little bit of love from the 30 because I think Bob was starting to. I think what happened there is you slow down just a little bit too soon and not off the racing surface. There was a little bit of unknown what the other guys were doing, and unfortunately, say hiding behind the Sunoco sign is that right there. And unfortunately, that's what Bob is going to pop. So let's jump back live though here, Matt, because this is where things are going to start to split up a little bit. Here comes that second group that went that extra lap. Jack Walls, Brandon Briggs, Andrew Pleshy, Jim Brooks, Maxwell Caldwell all hitting in together. So it looks like the 5 of them. Nice, calmer, cleaner entry. But now, while they do that, let's go to the front because here comes that train. I say they were there and they're gone. And right now it's 1.5 seconds and growing.
Wow. But that's going to not sit well with them. They're probably going to run them down.
It's going to take some effort. I'm watching the timer.
Yeah,
it's almost 3 seconds now.
Wow.
The problem is, look at the separation that we've. Oh, and Gabe Butler, long pit stop for him. Possibly a pit penalty, maybe too fast on entry, Matt. I'm not sure if you're able to catch anything there, but he's still sitting on pit road. And he's minute 20 something.
Championship implications.
Yeah, that's not something you expect to see from Gabe. And say, not sure, maybe some contact for him on entry.
Oh, he hit the cone on the way to pit road. That is actually
unsafe entry.
Yep, he hit all by himself. He hit.
Well, and actually, Kevin Freeze 49-second pit stop. So both of them, 2 of our championship contenders. So this is where Seabass is enjoying himself, causing them grief. But what I was about to say though, Matt, is that's really spread out the field because now you got Adam Kilday, Brian Wang, about 3.5 seconds or so off the back of those guys. But it's just the 2 of them. You got to go another second or so back to get these 2. And then continues on Brandon Briggs, Jim Brooks, or sorry, not Jim Brooks, Brandon Briggs, Eric Laurie. Jim's another 4 seconds back now from these guys. So this field has really opened up here. And I got to say, the strategy right now of these 4 that pitted at lap 14 versus lap 21, 22, that's the difference right now. And they're going to pick up a good drafter right now with Kevin Freeze as well.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Now, I think Kevin, wow, am I saying this correct? Kevin's a lap down?
Kevin and Gabe both trapped 1 down at the moment, yeah. And I think Gabe's rolling solo, so Gabe's going to have to find some help to not go 2 down. And actually, Kevin's got to pedal it here because as fast as these guys are going, sometimes you can't quite suck up all the way. So this is Kevin's going to have to work here. And I think now he's got the draft enough. You can see the momentum. He's starting those cars getting bigger. So I think he's starting to pull them back in here. But yeah, so this is pretty wild. This has really kind of turned this race on its head a little bit. So right now the 5, 54, 32, and 48 playing the strategy kind of to a T right here. But again, long ways to go in this race here. Just about now, next time by, you can start the second third of the race, starting lap 26 again of the scheduled 75. And so now we got to do math, unfortunately, Mount. So they pitted at 14. That means they can go to probably about lap 35 would be their next pit stop here. So about not quite 10 more laps, and these guys will have to come in for the second round.
That's pretty incredible. You pretty much split up, like some. Oh, sorry, I had a little bit.
Oh,
my button there.
You're good.
So I'm sorry about that. So Kevin Freeze is split up. Gabe Butler is split up. You're pretty much one of your strongest pushers on the sim right now. Is all trapped lap down, but all separated. It's just incredible now. Now their lead is actually growing even more now.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds.
That's wow.
So here's them. They went through the tribal. We got to go all the way back now to the tribal to pick up Adam Kilday being pushed by Brian Wang. Lap time wise, still faster. Rick and Patrick of 46.44 to 46.67. And then from this pack from Adam Kilday back to Brandon Briggs, you got to go 6.5 seconds to pick up this pack here with Bud Steele, Dean Wilkinson, Ambrose Nabel, Jim Brooks, all here together there. Also, you see the 04 and the 30. Unfortunately, I believe No, sorry, Ambrose is part of that pack. I think the 04, though,
Yeah.
we mentioned his issues.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the 30 mentioned his issues. He's a couple laps down. And then another 6 seconds back to these three here. Tom Dixon, Nick Wing, Bob Fitzgerald. And then Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Palesci. And I think this might be Maxwell doing Andrew a solid because Andrew had a 16-second pit stop. I think Maxwell said, you know what? I'm going to come back and get you. That way you don't get kind of run by yourself and maybe lose even more time. So this is really shaking this field up a ton right now, Matt. And I've been watching Kevin Freeze. He's been just kind of peeking to the outside. Not sure if he's maybe trying to slow that pack down a little bit or just kind of giving himself some breathing room in case something happens in front. But I'm watching them. They come through 3 and 4 here. Gabe's just now entering the tri-oval, about to start past the start-finish line. And lap time-wise, Gabe's running 49, upper 49 second laps here versus these mid-46s.
So my guess is probably, I guess, just trying to tell the field, hey, I'm a lap down. And my buddy is like a lap down behind me. Can you let me back on the lead lap and you gonna push me?
Well, I'll say last
then
time
now,
by looking at times.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm looking at times 46.55s for these guys, 46.54s for the second packs. I mean, they're right on top of each other lap time wise. And you can see there's a little separation now between the 54 and the 5, the 32 and the 54. So they've gotten a little less aggressive. And again, I think they can do that because, again, they're going to have to pit here in about another, what do we have, 29 right now? So what do we say, 32? Or, no, sorry. It'd be, 35 roughly, now that I'm thinking about it.
You said 35. You said 35.
Okay, yeah. It should be about lap 35 if we go with that 21 lap window. So it might even be, it could be 34 though, just because of how hard they were pushing early. So, but right now that gap is shrunk. Actually, last time by it was 0.2 quicker for Adam Kilday, Brian Wing, 45 to 65. So, and they're starting to go the right way, but now they're starting to double up a little bit. You see Jack Walls on the outside. He's got Brandon Briggs with him. And that's every so often you'll start to have some guys have a little frustration where they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? Let's get back in line. We'll be quicker this way. But there's also two trains of thought where some people say single file is faster. Some people say if you have a big enough pack, 2 cars is faster. So it'll be interesting to see kind of with that logic which way is the way to go. And right now, lap time wise, pretty much even, 44 to 49.
I see Gabe Butler just went a lap down to the leader.
That's 2 down now.
Yep. Now.
You see Kevin dropping back to pick him up.
Yeah, I see that.
So I think the strategy here, Matt, is you get Kevin to push Gabe. If you can get both of you ahead, that would give basically that way it gives Kevin the lucky dog he'd be tailing the lead lap. I'm sorry, Gabe, if he can get ahead of these guys, would actually put him back to 1 down. Yep. And I believe let me see if there's any other cars 1 down. Wait for my timing and scoring to update.
No, it's just Carl Engel. This one with.
Yeah, so Kevin's the only 1 down, Gabe 2 down. But these guys, again, they know they have to pit in about 3 laps. So once this cycles through, they will be tail end of the lead lap and 1 lap down, and that would be where they're saying, I'd love to have a caution.
Now look at this. They're trying to get back their lap back the hard way.
No, and I mean, it makes sense to do because, again, you never know if and when a caution could fall. So, I mean, it could come out right before these guys make their pit stop. So, Gabe and Kevin, they're going to be aggressive here, and I understand why. So, right now, and this is it right there. Kevin, at the moment, tail end of the lead lap. Gabe would be the first car 2 down. Obviously, like I said, the goal would be to get both of them ahead of that 5. But, again, I think on the championship side of things here, some of these guys know, hey, we got to keep these 2 behind us, and now they surge back forward a little bit. So, but again, though, it's like Gabe and Kevin just got to be patient here. They know this next lap or 2, these guys are all coming in, and then you've got about a 5-second margin. And lap time-wise, actually, they stretched it out. Now it's about 5.4 again. It was under 4 for a little bit. Now it's back to 5.4 over Adam Kilday and company.
Yeah, I can't really fault those guys for at least giving it a chance. Because they're going to lose a lot of time once these leaders pit in you estimate about 3 laps there, Gael?
It's lap 35 now. I believe they just crossed, or is this 34? This is lap 34. So I would say
34.
this time or next time, these 4 will be in.
Yeah, so they're going to have to do something because now that lead is increased by 2/10 now.
Yeah, now it's 5.5 seconds over this pack behind. They've gotten back to single file here. But again, I'm a little surprised Brian isn't really latched on. Now he actually is. That might be just him trying to get his temperatures back in check, because that's the other thing, Matt. You can't just latch on and stay pushing the whole way. You're going to overheat. So probably making some separation in the turns, get hooked back up on the straightaways, and continue to push. So let's jump back up front, though, here, see if we see a sharp left. And answer is no,
Nope.
not yet. So they can go another lap at least here. But, man, Kevin and Gabe are definitely not trying to make it easy on these guys. They want to get there. They're going to side draft a little bit, try to see if any way they can get an advantage on these 2 versus 4. And, like I said, it's that risk versus reward. And right now, this is what they feel like they got to do to try to get back, have a chance at this thing. Because, again,
Right.
there could be a group in this pack here that could push a little bit too hard, a little wrong. There's this pack here altogether. That same thing. Mistakes happen everywhere. So, that's why we're seeing that aggression out of these 2, because again, they want to try to get the best result for both of them. But let's see if they can peel in.
No.
Wow, great mileage. So again, they pitted at 14. This is now 36. So I mean, that's 22 laps, Matt, and that 22 is actually further than what the other drivers. I mean, 22 is actually the furthest that anybody drivers started in this race did. So pretty impressive with that there. And so again, this short pit strategy at that first pit stop, it's looking really good so far.
Yep, I just heard them call it radio. They're coming in this time, so hopefully, if they have a good stop this time, Gaio, the field is going to have a really tough time trying to catch back up.
Yeah, this pit stop's going to be a little slower because they're going to be putting more fuel in the cars. You see, and you see, here's the separation we talked about. Look how spread out all these 4 cars are. And now let's just make sure, man. Richard was a little close to the pit cone for my comfort, but I believe it looks like a clean entry for the 4 of them. And again, look at how nicely staggered they are. Try to make sure they don't step on each other's toes. And, oh, that's going to be the first hit right here, though. The 54 too far. He's still trying to back it up, get in his spot. That's going to turn that 4-car draft into a 3-car draft because they're gone. He's going to have to wait. He might have a chance here. I think Seth might be trying to drag back to work him.
Okay.
Yeah, Seth's playing his teammate here, so they'll lose a little bit of time on this because look how far ahead the 5 is. But I think that's not a bad call. I think the 4th car makes a big difference. So now, once again, they'll stay on the lead lap here, Matt. And right now that also, again, puts Kevin Freeze now tail end of the lead lap, puts Gabe Butler, the first car, 1 lap down. But again, though, now we got to wait another, let's see, they pitted a lap 21, so that's going to be about, 42, 43. So, again, not that far away here, probably about 5 more laps or so at most. And we should see this next set of drivers on pit road for their second stop as well.
Yeah, I was looking at the gap between the Richard Sanchez put on the pack he was running with, the Gruber brothers, and the 48 of, Ryan Decker there. He's put at least a second gap on there. I think he only took fuel only on that stop, which kind of propelled him to way out there. Now I think they're gonna catch up to.
No, yeah, they'll catch him. Yeah, he had about 2-second lead. It's already down to 1.5 in closing. I think what happened is actually I think Ryan, Seth, and Patrick all backed it down to pick up each other. They said, okay, the 3 of us, we can actually catch Rick. Versus if Ryan backs it down, if Ryan stays with Rick, then it's two versus 2, and they're all just going to be slower for it. So they're kind of taking their medicine now, losing a little bit of time, but then here in the next lap or so, they'll be all back together. And so this will cost them, I would say, probably at least a second or 2 just for that, just kind of losing the touch with each other. But right here, you see Ryan's already back to the 5. They're starting to lift. You saw the flames come out, and actually Ryan's going to take the momentum up and around the 5 car. So right now we're going to have a little bit of a split. So the 48-32, now the 5 and the 54 is going to be the order. But now they got to get a little reorganized once again.
I see. That was pretty smart by the 54 car to pick up Richard there. So he would not lose the momentum when those 3 cars pass by. That is actually very smart. I wish I thought of that. I wish I was that smart.
Honestly, I think when you start super speedway racing, again, you know the guys to work with here. They got some good strategies.
Yep. Now I'm interested with all that time loss. How much time are they going to gain with the 05, the 85 of Adam Kilday once they pit? They may gain.
Oh, they'll
now,
definitely gain, but they gotta
Yeah.
not get split up too, because Rick's lap was a 48-second lap that previous time when he was still being caught. So I mean, think about it, these guys are running 46s. He was in the 48s. I mean, right there, like it's basically like I said, like a net second and a half or so. So they're gonna probably have to go back to the really aggressive pushing. But what they have going for them is look at this in front of them. They have
Yeah, they
Maxwell
got the-
Caldwell, Andrew Pleshy. They're stealing some drafts right here. They're gonna get some big pull here. This will be a really good lap time for these 4 cars.
Well, so for the 85, the 05, because they're catching up on the 25 and 80.
Yeah, and look at they're going to jump to the top here. So it's too big of a pack to do anything. So they're going to let them all by and then drop back in line as well. And again, they're going to be pretty much in the same pit windows as these 6 cars here as well. So like I said, I'm waiting to see lap times, and this one will be a good lap for Adam and company. Let's see what it is. It'll be a 46.08, but actually Ryan Decker 45.71.
Wow.
So 0.3 again, actually 0.4 quicker there. So they're, let's say they're hustling this thing, and they're trying to, like I said, they probably lost a couple seconds. They might be trying to get it back now. And again, and now they're actually going 2 by 2 here because you got Andrew and Maxwell pushing. So now they're a little bit split up here, but it's still a pretty good group. But man, Andrew is pushing that 48 pretty hard there. And I say if I was Seth and Richard here, I'd just tuck right back in line, let these guys do the hard pushing, and then just kind of save a little bit of fuel, shorten that final stop here, because again, everybody still has to make one more stop. And that's gonna be the next thing, Matt. Their final stop is gonna be longer than this group stops, like Adam Kilday, Brian Wing and company. It might flip. They might have that 6-7 second pit stop, whereas the other guys might have that 9+ second pit stop hopefully not under caution, under green under that final stop. So that could also make a big difference. So it's gonna be fun to see what's the winning move here.
Oh boy, they are not far from the. I think they should pit maybe this time or maybe next time. No, they're coming this time.
Yeah, that's 22 laps. That's right on cue. Now again, everybody's got to try to give themselves a little bit of contact.
Oh, you hate to see it. Does that bring it out yellow?
No, everybody's
it's not.
off track on the apron. So you
God.
got Eric Laurie, Jack Walls, the 18 there, Brennan Briggs. Oh man, let's go back. We'll take a look, see what happened here, because they're all hitting pit road, and I say probably just unfortunately a bit of a mistake by one of them. So let's wait and see. And it's the same thing as last time. It was a late decision to pit, and yeah, I think either the 18 got the 83. I don't know if the 25 touched or not. And Eric Laurie just innocent bystander there. So unfortunately, tough hits for all 3 of those guys. As you can see, Brandon rolling out of pit road now. Jack just behind him. So now after it's all cycled through here, we're not done with pit stops obviously yet, but right now Ambrose Nabel is our leader here in that 04 machine. So it looks like he's rocking the Hayton Clark paint scheme in the Iowa Hawkeyes machine. And so again, he's going to go a little further. Nope, they're going to come in together here. So this will complete their cycle. Oh, hopefully got it wound down in time there. And that will hand it back over to these drivers here. But now where is Brian Wang? Look how much closer these 2 are. Here comes Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Pleshy. They're on pit road here, coming to 31 to go. But can these 2 do enough? Because right now it's just the 2 of them. With what happened, it's just these 2 cars. Everybody else now is all spread out here. So this is where these guys are going to have to push like there's no tomorrow. So let's actually hop on board with Adam and Kilday. We'll jump on the roof. Oh, there goes Kevin and Gabe. They're trying to steal everything they could. And hey, look, we were just talking to Sebastian Marin, and there's Sebastian Marin on the rear of Brian's car there, his waifu.
Wow, look at the time between Adam Kilday Brian Wang, they were so close to getting the back of
I think they have it
Ryan Dicker there. They may have it.
because this
They're
time
so-
by 46.52, 46.06, half a second quicker. I
Yep,
think
they
Adam and
got it.
Brian are going to
Yeah,
have that. So, yeah, they're
that's-
within a second. They're there.
They are there. Wow.
So, with this potentially staying green to the end, if it does, that 4-horse race we just talked about turns into now a 6-horse race because, again, these two cars, their last stop should be a shorter pit stop than the 4 in front of them. So, if you're Brian, if you're Adam, do you just ride here and save even more fuel to shorten that final pit stop up? Or do you maybe just force these guys to run a little bit harder potentially? Because now these 6 cars, Matt, they have a 13 and growing second lead over these 2 cars here, Mike Rimkus and Brendan Briggs. Right now, Jack Wall's rolling solo. Ambrose Nabel there. He's starting to get a few friends here with Jim Brooks, Dean Wilkinson, Bud Steele. But this is just really kind of unfortunate, like just really throwing this race a bit on its head. I say it's just really spread this field out. But again, I mean, we're past halfway. We're under 30 to go, but a lot can still happen in these final 29 laps.
So right now, this is looking like. Now, if I was Brian Wang and Adam Kilday, I would just ride and try to save as much fuel as I can, and pit when the Rivers and Richard did. So that way, they'll have the shorter stop. But I think they would have. They'll be pushing themselves on fuel, being very close.
And that's the next question, Matt.
That's what I'm worried about.
Do
Can they make it?
Well, I'll say, do you? I think they can, yeah, because let's see, they pitted at 36. So, I mean, based on that, they should be able to go to 58.
Okay.
So now it's time for bad math.
Oh boy, that's like right on the money.
No, they should. If they can go to lap 58, they should be good. Because in theory, that should only be
5 laps.
Yeah, that should only be 7. Yeah,
Bad math.
bad math for the win. But yeah, so that actually should open up for green white checker potential too. So I say Adam and Brian making moves. They're trying to decide, I think, what they want to do here. But the other problem that they might have is right now it looks like these 4 are pretty committed to each other. So right now you got the Groovers now 1-2. So Mama Groover's probably pretty happy with what she sees right now. She's probably telling her boys to behave and push nice with each other. But this is, yeah, man, they're about to catch some more cars here. They're going to grab Tom Dixon, it looks like, just in a second. Andrew Pileshi as well. We need to talk about some pit stop mistakes. Unfortunately, it looks like Maxwell Caldwell got busted for speeding. He had a 49-second pit stop. He sits in 20th. Gabe still, unfortunately, sitting in 21st there with everything that he's gone through. So right now, Bob Fitzgerald, Kevin Fries, Maxwell Caldwell are 1 down. I believe Gabe is 2 down. Waiting for my timing and scoring to update. And yeah, Gabe's currently sitting at 2 down still in the 88 machine as well. And now they got to figure out where do you go here. You see 1 stayed top, 1 went low, and they're going to try to split them. And that's always a nervous spot to be in there, Matt.
Oh yeah, that made me nervous just watching, because I was sitting in the cockpit of Patrick Gruber. They're just watching him navigate through that. That was like kind of nerve-wracking there. Me being the leader.
Yeah, that's where you do hope that both drivers are on the same page. But unfortunately not. In this case, they didn't quite have the same plan there. But as I worked out in the end, especially with just the 2 of them, it wasn't too bad. And so now this pack's gotten even bigger here. So again, there's 6 cars on the lead lap, but they've added Andrew Pileshi, they've added the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald, and then they've added the 411 of Tom Dixon. And this is actually right now, Matt, this is the Lucky Dog battle, the 82, the 08, and the 411. So Andrew's going to have to be aggressive to kind of stay ahead of these 2 in case of a yellow, because he wants to make sure he can be in that position to take advantage of it should a yellow come out here. But right now, they've got a pretty big gap to the next group here. I'll say in front of them is these 3 cars here, the 071, the 28, and the 94.
Oh, we got a wreck. That should be a yellow.
Yeah, it is. Tom Dixon is involved. Oh, and it's the 3. Oh, my goodness. It's the 3 cars with Brian Wang in it, too. Maybe Bob got through that. No, Bob's got some right front damage, too. So the beneficiary of all this might be this car right here, the 25 of Kevin Fries. But let's go back and take a look, see what happened here. Brian's already up and around here. That's a little too far back. All right, we're going to focus on these guys here. Speed up a little bit. See Brian Wang. I think we're not far enough forward now. And then right here. Oh, look at just
he caught
uncentered
him right in the right
push.
rear.
Yeah.
He caught him right in the right rear. That's something you don't do in these cars. So it looks like to me that Brian Wang was getting ever so closer to. Looks like Adam Kildare
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Kind of checked up a little bit, but unfortunately, when he checked up, it kicked his car sideways to the right. And Andrew Palacio was pushing, and it pretty much turned Brian around. So that 20-second lead that the Grubers had is now gone.
Yeah, man, let's wait and see now. I believe we're going to see a lucky dog here, and it's going to be this guy because remember we talked about those 3 or 4 cars going for the lucky dog?
Yep.
They all got involved. So Kevin was the next in line. Huge break for this 25 car. Let's hit pit road, though, right now because you know what time it is, Matt? It's Kevin Freese's favorite time, fuel mileage. Because right now we are at 23 to go here at the time of this caution. Should restart with 21 to go. Should be safely in the window, but it's going to be tight. Definitely isn't going to give any wiggle room for green, white, checkered. So what we'll do is we'll step away here. First yellow. We got to show off our wonderful sponsors like 4D Racewear. So we'll be right back.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the pace car. You just saw 3 cars go on by there to get wave arounds. So they're going to be banking on, they need a yellow to make it to the end. That's going to be Andrew Palacio there, Gabe Butler, Maxwell Caldwell. Again, that puts Gabe now 1 down. He was, again, 2 down, so he still needs some help here in that 88 machine. I believe he's also going to have, he's going to have some competition with the 08 and the 411. And then, like I said, we had pretty much everybody came in here from 1st to 6th here. They all pitted the first time. And then from Ryan Decker on back, they went ahead and topped off here on that 1 to go. Just get a little extra fuel here. Again, should be good to the scheduled distance. But again, there's always a potential for a green, white, checkered here. So you never know. But yeah, so now at this point, though, it's basically rack them up and go after it again here. I'll say this has completely changed the complexion of this race here. This is going to be interesting here. Like I said, it's been split up since pretty much that first pit stop. It closed up a little bit for a few of the drivers, and then the other groups were really spread out. But it really breathes life into some of those that were in that pack 10 plus seconds further back. So it's been fun to see what we have here. It's going to be Adam Kilday here controlling the restart. Next to him is Richard Sanchez, Jack Walls, Mike Rimkus, Bud Steele, Carl Lingle. Our front, then everybody else, again, topping off on the one to go. These guys are all down on the inside line. And we are back underway here. 21 laps to go. We unfortunately saw a little bit of blinking from that 04 again, so hopefully it settles in a little bit, but that's going to, again, kind of probably start to make some drivers around him a little worried, but like I said, hopefully it settles in.
Hey, I'm back. What'd I miss? Anybody come back top off?
Yes, we had about 6 stay out and about everybody else top off. We had a few waiver rounds. And right now, Bud Steele's found Rick Sanchez and says, let's go to the front here. I say Bud hasn't really kind of shown his hand yet, and I think now it's time to. He's also got Ryan Decker behind him. Dean Wilkinson was behind him. Now he drops to the bottom. And yeah, like I said, although I'm dropping back here, where's Kevin Freeze? These guys are a little further back than I'd like them to be. I think they're okay, but they kind of, they're a little bit off this main pack here. I think they'll be all right, but just about a half second off from Nick Wing to Eric Laurie. And that's the thing, is it's given a lot of these drivers another chance, Matt, like those caught up in the pit road miscues, those that just lost the draft during the pit stops. But yeah, I mean, you think some of the innocent bystanders, I mean, Eric Laurie is one that stands out to me, where it's like, I got destroyed trying to enter the pits, nothing of my own doing. And at least now I have a chance to get back after it here. So it's kind of a new lease on life for a lot of these drivers. But it's also, again, I mean, the only one I see up here still from earlier is the 5 car. I'm looking for the 32, the 54, the 48. The 48's actually still there too. But the Grubers, unfortunately, they got kind of shuffled out here. I think with their, I think they topped off. So I think that's what pushed them a fair bit back.
Right now, if I was the 5 car in 85, I'd be really nervous right now. Do I want to lead this group, Gael? I really don't.
I think you do, because I think we're good on fuel. If we get green white checkers, we got some stuff going on in the back.
Yeah, I've seen that. They gathered it back up. Oh, no.
Well, I say he's by himself. There's nobody else around, so I think we will stay green. We do stay green. Remember that whole Eric Laurie new lease on life? Yeah, that didn't go very well for him, but hopefully we'll see if his teammates maybe drop back to pick him up, and then maybe they can pull him back. But again, though, Gabe's got a pit here in not too long as well. So, unfortunately, not sure what happened there. We got Brian Wing trying to run the third lane by himself. He's contact Bud Steele. This will bring out the yellow.
Oh, no. I think fuel mileage
is definitely over with. Here's 3 cars involved at least. You see those ones right there at the top, the 6, the 05, the 28. Not what you're hoping to see there. Yeah, it's not what you're hoping for. Let's go back. Let's get a better look at this one here. It's just they're running tight on each other, unfortunately, and unfortunately, there's a little bit of contact for Ryan Decker as well, Mike Rimkus as well. Hopefully, not too bad for them. Looks like Dean Wilkinson also got a piece of that as well. So, unfortunately, a few drivers there involved. So now the question will be the lucky dog battle. Does Tom Dixon get through this unscathed, or Bob Fitzgerald? Because if either of these guys got through clean, they should get the pass here. It will be a benefit for Gabe, because now Gabe will be able to pit and still be one down. But yeah, now fuel mileage, though, pretty much no question. Now everybody will be good to the end. The question will be, though, do we see anybody pit, or do we see everybody say, okay, I'm just going to save the fuel and they're yellow? So that's going to be the question mark, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. It's man, oh man. Because when I was looking toward the back, you said Andrew Palesci there was a big checkup that started off in the back, and it just kind of like worked its way forward, and that's pretty unfortunate for Bud Steele. And I was actually having a really good run.
Yeah, I think he should still have a fast repair, so he can at least hopefully use that. Although I don't think that
he's stopped. He's not moving right now.
Yeah, I think that motor may have popped. Unfortunately, he's got close but can't quite get there. He's gonna have to take a tow.
Yeah.
So it looks like a bit of a mixed bag here. Some pitting. This will, again, get them easily to the finish here under green, white, checkered. A lot of other guys staying out. They're kind of banking on this thing just not going too far over time. So we'll do it. Once again, we'll step away for a moment, and we'll be back here on the one to go. So stay tuned.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, we are back. Lights are off, and we have a mixed bag of strategies once more. From first place, Richard Sanchez, to 8th place, Patrick Groover. Drivers did not pit under that yellow. And then from Eric Laurie on back, these drivers all did get some fuel in there. Actually, I should say Mike Rimkus on back, apologies. From 9th on back, all of these drivers did top off here on that one to go. Or sorry, did pit under yellow, I should say. Maybe not topped off, but did pit. Should be good to the end on fuel. Right now, again, Lucky Dog battle at the moment looks like will be between Gabe Butler and Bob Fitzgerald, who's just lined up right now behind him. So, yeah, I mean, again, Gabe was 2 down at one point. Kevin was down 1 at one point. So it's definitely got some kind of breathed some life back into those guys here. So, yeah, I think what happened there, that long green flag run, I think everybody started to get a little antsy, Matt, and unfortunately just aggression, maybe a little bit too much aggression too soon, and that's what we saw there.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah, well... When race comes down the line, win comes down the line, everybody gets a little bit too anxious, and stuff happens.
So with that, pace car is about to make the sharp left. Front row is going to be Richard Sanchez, Adam Kildee, Jack Walls, and Ryan Decker, row number 2. As everybody's starting to tighten up, getting ready for that restart. And Rick is going to go on the green flag, keep everybody nice and bunched up behind him. And we are back underway, 14 to go. Again, fuel, I'd say not an issue at all for those that pitted. Maybe if all 3 green, white checkers come into play, that could be an issue for some of these other drivers that stayed out, but we'll have to wait and see. But right now, Ryan is pushing that 85 for all he is worth. A lot of separation between the 83 and the 5 car. This could be a big benefit for Adam and Ryan here. Adam straight to the bottom in front of Rick. That's going to let Ryan now lead the outside line. He's getting now pushed from the 04 of Ambrose Nabel Ambrose has been kind of trying to fight that internet connection. Looks solid right now. So this is a great opportunity for him as, again,
Okay, we're going 3 wide again. Here we go.
A little bit of movement there again, trying to keep everybody in check there. And oh my goodness, everybody's trying to figure out where they want to go. Ryan, oh man, a little bit off center, pushing Adam Kilday. Adam had a big wiggle there. And that little checkup has allowed Seth Groover, without a lot of help here, to make a big charge in that third lane. Oh my goodness.
That got me nervous a little bit. Well, that was a nice little move by Adam Kilday to go down to the bottom of the track. Right now, the teammates are 1 and 2 on the bottom of the racetrack. But look at here, Adam Kilday comes back up to the second lane, which forces the 48 car to push the 85. Now look at the top lane guy out, that 32 and the 25 are hooked up on the very top lane, but they should get the run coming off turn number 4 here, coming to the start finish here, Gael.
Yeah, these pushes are getting very aggressive. None of these drivers are able to hold a steady wheel. They're having to just kind of chase the car, catch the car as they're getting shoved around this track. But again, Matt, there's still 12 laps to go. These guys don't need to be going this. They don't need to go this crazy.
I'm driving and I'm nervous watching.
Oh no, I am terrified as well right now.
Because my pick is like there. Hey, Caitlin, it's not my fault. I'm telling you.
Look further back here. Look at the 88 and the 08. They're like, yep, we want no part of this here. Because
look who's up there. Look who's up there, Gael. The 04 Ambrose Nabel pushing the 48 car.
I think Ambrose got hot. I think it had jumped top because I think that car was starting to get. He was pushing for all he was worth, but unfortunately, the temperature started to get a little out of whack, and he basically was like, nope, like I can't do this anymore. If it's either that or blow my engine, and I'm gonna try to save this engine because there's still 11 to go in this thing. So
yep.
It's a hard thing to have to do, but I think it's the right call for him. And like I said, there's still plenty of time for him to get back into this thing.
Oh yeah, plenty of time. Yeah, most definitely.
So now the pushers are Patrick Groover on the inside line, and now back to the 48 of Ryan Decker. So now they're pushing the 5 and the 85s. Again, you know that third lane's going to come in at some point. Yep. I see 2 teammates lined up. I see Eric Laurie. I see Kevin Freeze. And I think as soon as either of them blink to the outside, you're going to see that 32 jump straight to the outside to try to be the one to get the push.
I'm sure Seth has got his one eye on the mirror, seeing when is Kevin going to make the move. When's Kevin going to make the move? Because he's going to be well prepared in case the teammates lock onto each other to the outside.
No, you're exactly right. Unfortunately,
there it goes. There's the move. I told you.
Just the 2 of them, though. A little surprised. We thought Eric would jump with him as well, but right now it's just the 2. But we'll see. Eric's going to pick up some momentum here. We'll see if he jumps top or if he decides to stay middle here. And yep, there he goes.
Yep.
And I think Andrew Pleshy. Yep, I was going to say Andrew Pleshy, Maxwell Caldwell. They're going to fill that middle because that's where there's more spots to move forward, and I think that's the right call for them as well. So,
yep.
Now we're 3x3, 9 to go. Got
I'm nervous.
Single digits. And again, these guys are wiggling around here through the travel, through the little chute, then now into turn 1. Ooh, a little hip check by the 48 to 25. Yeah.
Don't let me down, brother.
And they're coming up on a couple of lap cars, Brian Wing and Tom Dixon, and this isn't a track where you can flat foot the apron, so I think some of these guys are going to have to really back down. I already see Brian, looks like he's pretty much throwing the brakes on, and yeah, he's going to let these guys all go. He's going to hug the apron, so I say Brian, unfortunately, 2 incidents for him tonight that, let's say, because he was in a great position prior to all that, and now you see here coming up on that 411, and I expect the same for Tom. I think, yep, you already see him dragging him to the apron there, so again, just the respect that these guys have, like, wasn't our night. Let's go ahead and just go apron here and try to get sorted back in here. But that third lane kind of... Oh, Eric Laurie just caught the wall. Stuck in it a little bit.
Hold on to it, brother.
He's got it. We stay green. Adam Kilday, well, I was going to say, it's in front of his teammate, like you mentioned. Now Andrew Pleshy, Maxwell Caldwell got the candy cars lined up on the top side here.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I say we haven't seen them a lot tonight, but now it's about time to try to go for that trophy. You know You're going to find them there if they have the opportunity.
Yep, they just, right now, they don't have the help and strength and numbers on the outside.
Yeah, they need another, they need at least one more car.
Yep.
Oh, a little bit of a hit. Oh, caution.
That's gonna be a yellow.
So far,
Are you kidding me?
That'll
Yeah, there it
probably
is.
do it.
There it is.
Oh my goodness. Jim was involved, but he almost got a little bit more of a piece of that one. I think Gabe got through unscathed, so I think Gabe's going to be the beneficiary of that one. The 08 Bob Fitzgerald, unfortunately, was behind Gabe at the time of yellow. And yeah, unfortunately, I think on that one, it looked like the 28 to me kind of drifted up a little bit, and I think caught him in the tri-oval. Let's get a better look here. We'll look at Mr. Wing. There's a really good shot of him here through the trial. We see Brandon Briggs to his inside. Maxwell to his out. And let's see what we see here through the tri-oval. And it's hard to say. There's almost looks like, once again, Matt, just going for the same real estate, really. And then, unfortunately, you see the 51 gets a piece there. The 79, nothing he can do either. And then these guys just kind of going around. Oh, does the 30... Oh, look at Ambrose. Oh, Ambrose gets kind of squished into it there as well.
Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate.
But we're watching this car way in the background here, Matt. We'll go full speed. And Gabe Butler's just like, let me through, let me through. Okay, we're good. And so I think that should get him the free pass. So we'll jump back live. We'll watch this 88 car as they have yet to hit pit road here. Or I should say hit the pit entry. I apologize. And then, yeah, so Matt, we're not going to quite be on the green-white checkered side of things here. I think we'll be on the outside looking in.
This will be a natural one.
But what do we do here? No, we'll restart. I think it'll be a green-white checker. Then we'll restart with 3 to go. Looks like strategy-wise, nobody up front wants to pit.
No, I wouldn't either.
I think if you're involved in the wreck, yeah, so I think Ambrose probably should come in. And yeah, here they come. I'll say these are cars that got caught up in that instance, so I think this is the right call for pretty much all these guys. And then now we focus on the 88. And we should see him cut a right and is going to try to squeeze through all these guys. And he was 2 down earlier, Matt. He's back on the lead lap. He's going to restart this thing with 3 to go. Still wouldn't count him out.
I swear, if he wins this race...
He's going to have a long ways to go, but, I mean, the thing is, green-white checkers...
on my next stream.
Green-white checkers, I mean, that can give more options. So, once again, we'll step away, catch your breath, and we'll be back here shortly, so stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off. Everybody's doubling up here. And again, top 4, Matt, have pitted last pit at 52.53. Seth at 59, Jack at 52 as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Looks like Amber's Nabel on back, though, all pitted at lap number 70. So we know they're good to go for all the green-white checkers. Let's say a few drivers. Let's say we'll try to see what cars look clean, which maybe still limping a little bit of damage. So we'll have to see who's got what left. And again, though, This guy right here, he's hustling back up there to get ready for this restart. So we've got 16 drivers on the lead lap here still, Matt. I don't think fuel, again, I don't really think fuel is going to be a concern for the majority of these guys. If we get to the green white checker number 3, I do have question marks for the guys that have not topped off, like Adam, Richard,
Right.
Ryan, and Patrick and company. Again, I could be wrong. They may have been able to do all the saving they need to under these yellows. These guys are really good at fuel saving. But yeah, I do like the Seth Groovers at 59, Kevin Freeze at 59. I feel more comfortable with them. Maxwell Caldwell's another as well. So we'll see. Like I said, we're gonna have a green white checker on this one. We're gonna restart with 3 to go. So again, not quite in the window, but basically, if they get to the white flag, at that point the race is official. They all race back to the finish. And of course, admins will have to review if there's any shenanigans on that final lap. But other than that, basically who gets to the line first is our race winner. There is still no passing below the yellow line at the end, so those rules still do apply. However, if there's a caution before they get to that white flag, they'll rack them up and they will do it up to 3 attempts. So not quite at attempt 1 here yet, Matt. Hopefully we don't get to attempt 1, especially for those that are worried about fuel. Adam Kilday, Richard Sanchez is going to lead the field here. Ryan Decker, Patrick Groover going to be the pushers here as we get back to green.
Yeah, so basically we're almost back to where we were about 25 laps ago when Richard and company had
you
the
got
20-second lead.
Yeah, so you got the four of them
Minus
back
Ryan
together.
Decker there.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Ryan Decker,
a little bit of door.
Yeah, a little bit of dooring there. He's good.
But I think this is Adam Kilday and Richard Sanchez saying we want to work together here. I think this is now where the teamwork is going to come into play. As man, Seth Groover is pushing for all he is worth, but they got to make sure they stay center because just a little push off center is just going to make it for a really tough time. I'll say this is coming to 2 to go. Ryan will lead this lap. But again, though, we still got another lap to go before we can throw that white flag and see if we can officially make it to the end here. You know that third lane's coming at some point. You don't know where it's going to come from, though, Matt.
Where's Caitlin in the chat? Where's she at?
She's probably closing her eyes right now.
Caitlin!
I'm trying to close my eyes, but I got to broadcast. But Matt, we're through 3 and 4 so far. No big takers again to that third lane. You also got to be careful. These guys got to keep those temperatures in check because they can't stay locked on for those 3 laps. So they're trying to get to the start-finish line here. This would make it to a green-white checker. You see some guys peeking to the third lane. We will make it. So this is the final lap here, Matt. It will end under regulation. Oh, we got 2 in the wall there, so they're going to stay pointed straight. We stay green, obviously, like we talked about. There's Jack Walls looking at him in the third lane. Brendan Briggs going with him. You got the 3 up on the top, 3 on the bottom, which is going to have the better push down the back in 3 and 4.
Oh, man. That looks like that.
Oh, they're starting
second lane. Yeah, that ganging up on the second now. Looks like Adam Kilday slides to the bottom right in front of the 48 car there.
So Ryan,
to 3.
Yeah, so what Ryan's got to do here is just push the 85 as hard as he can to see if maybe he can open up a window for him. I think at this point his best result is going to be just stay locked on.
Richard, look at that high momentum with the 54. Patrick Groover pushing the 5. And it's going to be Richard Sanchez with the win.
Big push at the end. I think Patrick Groover, I believe, may have been the pusher there at the end. Let's go back here, watch out of 4 because you're right. That was a huge push there coming out of 4. Let's take one more look at this here as we come out of 4. You can see the gap already here between the 5 and the 85. It's about a half a car length, but right here, huge push here out of 4, and man, they just locked on to each other, and it just wasn't enough for Ryan to be able to push Adam all the way through there to the end. And I'll say let's get a better
I know,
look.
Caitlin. I that was my pick. I'm sorry, but everybody ganged up on him. You see all the cars pretty much ganged up on the bottom line. All the momentum was on the second lane, but in the end, It was Richard Sanchez who came home with the win. Look at these two teammates up in the doing a little burnout celebration in the front.
Yeah, say it's always good to have a team 1-2 there. So yeah, they're gonna enjoy this one. So we gotta talk to some drivers here. So what we're gonna do first off is we're gonna hunt down our third place finisher. So let's get Mama Groover in here because that's gonna be Mr. Patrick Groover. All right, let's hunt down Patrick. Where is he? There he is. So we're going to kick it off with our third place finisher, and he is right there in that number 54 Monster Energy machine. Patrick, you guys got split up a little bit there, you and Seth at the end. I mean, obviously, I think the first thing we got to talk about is just the beginning of the race, the strategy that you, your brother Richard, and Ryan had. Because man, that I think that caught some drivers off guard there, and it looked really good because you guys had a great pit stop. You broke away, and at that point, it was kind of you guys versus the field there. I mean, take us through the strategy, and was it something on the fly, or were you guys talking about this even pre-race?
I just came to me. I told Seth before the race, I was like, let's look at the fuel this race, make sure we get it right, and then uh we calculated it down, run it backwards, and we were like, let's try short pitting, and we got a couple of people together, and we worked well with Ryan and Rick there, and so we were like, let's work with them. I think we can pull some time on the field if we pit early. Um, and yeah, it worked out well. I was messing with my fuel right in pit road, and I missed my box that second time, and we lost a couple seconds, and that allowed Brian and the others to catch up. But I think it was going to work out well. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and good win to Rick there.
Yeah, I mean, as like I said, I mean the strategy was spot on. Like I said, you guys were, and it wasn't even just you got the lead on the pit stops and then you held it. It was you were growing. You guys were drafting hard. You were working hard to be able to build that gap as the race went on as well. So I mean, like I said, yeah, just a great job by you guys to be able to make that happen. Like I said, unfortunately, just the way circumstances fell with the cautions, kind of unfortunately, kind of took it out from the way you were hoping it would end, obviously. But yeah, just a great run overall, man. So definitely want to give you the floor here for any thanks and shouts for that podium tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, it was an awesome race. All the guys here that race in Area 51 are awesome to race with. So it's no fun without good racers, and you really got to give a shout out to all these guys that make it fun. And and thanks for broadcasting, guys. And shout out to my mom for watching and supporting.
Yeah, she is always a great supporter. So yeah, great job though tonight, man. Looking forward to seeing you in the remaining two races.
All right, thanks.
All right, that is Patrick Groover there in the 54. We're going to jump one car forward. And that is going to be this guy right there. Somewhere in that mix, I'll say we'll get a better angle of him. There's Adam Kilday. And out of four, it looked really good. And then this teammate fella kind of spoiled the party there at the end. But I mean, I'm guessing don't feel too bad about a 1-2 for the team. But man, what a push on the outside line. But I mean, just it was kind of one of those races where it felt like just you weren't sure how it was going to shake out initially. It's like, okay, those four cars that pitted early, they were gone, and then that caution comes out and kind of almost a new lease on life. I mean, take us through kind of how your race went, and were you kind of caught off guard by that short pit strategy initially?
Nah, I wasn't. I was just trying to run my fuel tanks on E for vast majority of the stops. But yeah, I mean, it was a good call on them. So it's one of them was able to get a bunch of laps led for some of the bonus points doing that. And really, my game plan was to come up in here and try to take advantage of as much as like the stuff that gives you the extra points at the end of the race. So unfortunately, I think I got a 4x towards the end, so those bonus points are gone. But I didn't know what exactly was going to happen, so I was leading for maybe try to get the lead a bunch of laps too, maybe for that one. So it seems like in this area 51 stuff, you really gotta try to take advantage of as many points as you possibly can. So I came in here trying to do that, and I feel like I accomplished that at the end of the day. So I'll take it.
No, I mean, I say you came into obviously the race here fourth in points. You were 7 out, so you're going to come out 4 out of the lead now, tied for second with Rick. So, I mean, I say to come out halfway through, I say you're just, I mean, again, any little thing can make a big difference. So yeah, so it's a really, like I said, really kicking off the season well here for the playoffs. So it's gonna be fun to see what you got for the final 2 races, iRacing, then finishing up at Talladega. So we'll definitely give you the floor here for any thanks and shouts for that runner up tonight, though.
Yeah, I'll say shout out to Richard on the win. So it's cool, seeing him. I guess he didn't have a really good points race last week. So good to see him making his way back up top to, even out the standings and make it a bit of a challenge for some of the other cats. But yeah, man, shout out to, him, running with him and Area 51 and the league and the admins that keep this show going for people. So that's super cool of them. But yeah, Green White Checker TV and you guys up in the booth. So appreciate your time as well. And that's about it.
Great job tonight, man. It was fun watching you, and say looking forward to see what you got from the final 2. So good luck the rest of the way.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, then we got to jump 1 car forward. There he is already, and that is going to be Mr. Rick Sanchez. And say Atlanta, say you used to be, well, not say used to be, say you were kind of Mr. Atlanta. Obviously, the race last week didn't quite go to plan for you. I say, but you came back here with a vengeance though tonight. I say, getting the win, leading the most laps, and incident-free race as well. I mean, this was pretty much max points for you tonight, and I mean, to say you jumped into points is an understatement. You jump 8 spots to get back up into a tie for second with Adam, only 4 points out of the lead. I mean, that's probably a pretty good feeling after, like I said, after you probably weren't too happy with the result at Atlanta.
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed. I guess the only thing I didn't get was pole, huh?
Yeah, you have to work on that.
I tried. I actually did. I practiced, and I'm like, I don't know what these guys run on a different track than me when they qualify. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm smooth, but they just smoked me there at qualifying. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're kind of some monsters, and like I said, everybody has finds their little tips and tricks and things at this, and I'm sure the secrets they keep. But I mean, just a hell of a job though tonight. You got Ryan's wife, Kaylin. She's kind of tired of hearing you in the booth, so I think she wants you to push Ryan here in the future. So just a warning for you.
Hey, that guy is a push away. He's right there. He just needs to be, get that luck, and but he's always right there. You always see that 48 up there, so it's just a matter of time. I know if I ever get behind the guy, I'll push the hell out of him. So.
But no, like I said, we talked to Patrick a little bit about it, and then the strategy tonight. I mean, I think that's the story of the race. Is you guys short pit there by about 5 or so laps, or actually, I think it was more than that.
Yeah, it was more than that.
Yeah, I think it was like 8 or so. But man, I mean, you guys
sent me a message and said they were going to pit, and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of early, and I was, I don't know if I want to do that, and then I was like, oh, to hell with it, you got to take the risk to get the reward sometimes, and it worked out. And
it was, yeah. I mean,
we just ran really good. We had good pit stop there. Had a little messed up one on the second one, but we still maintained lead.
Yeah, exactly. And I was, yeah. I mean, it was incredible. Like I said, because I was mentioning it to Patrick as well. It wasn't just that you got the lead out of the pits. After that, I mean, you guys were stretching it over the course of the run. Like I said, the 4 of you were just running tremendous lap times. And like I said, I mean, it's one of those, you can never expect these things to go caution free, but it's one of those like, man, if that had gone caution free, like we probably would have wiped the floor with those guys. I mean, it would have been, I think, a 6-horse race because I think you would have had Brian and I'm trying to remember who else was in that mix with you guys before that caution came out there. But yeah, it was you 4 and then the 2 of them, and just unfortunately, obviously the caution kind of shook things out, but then, yeah, I mean, you guys stuck with it. You went with the strategy to stay out there. Were there any concerns about fuel with the potential of the green, white checkers, or were you good with all 3 with those yellows?
The first one came out, we were like on the edge, and I said, well, we'll take a chance and we'll start shutting the engine off, and coasting, see how much gas we can save. And we were actually able to save quite a bit there. And then we got another one that did the same thing, and it's like next thing we know, we were 3 laps to the good, so it was never a concern after that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just again, just overall, like I said, strategy and execution, everything, just a great job tonight, man. So definitely want to give you the floor. So you're gonna have a happy brother, happy brother when he gets home from work. I say he was unfortunately wasn't able to see the finish, so you have to brag a little bit, be like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, how'd it go? It's all right, I won. But no, just a hell of a job, man. Though definitely want to
I'm
give you
sure
the
Mom
floor.
will tell him.
Oh yeah. I say I love the support you have on YouTube, man. I love seeing him in there cheering you on. So it's really cool to see on my side. So definitely enjoy that. But man, yeah, definitely give you the floor here. Any thanks to Chaz for that win tonight.
Yeah, big shout out to the family. Like I said, they're a lot of support, especially the wife. She's awesome. She, lets me do this. Big shout out to Groover Boys tonight, and especially Patrick. He did an awesome job pushing. Shout out to Adam. He was my teammate, and we were wanting to get a 1-2 finish, and it ended up that way. We were hoping to get him a first place, but too good at pushing on the top. Shout out to Green White Checkered, all the broadcasting. They do awesome job. Shout out to Area 51, always awesome league. It's at 4D Racewear. Shout out to them. And shout out to all the drivers for always coming out and putting on a good race.
And Chevyland.
Oh, shout out to Chevyland. Got him another win. Hey,
I
Bubba.
got you.
Yeah, that's so you've taken that sponsor on with Bubba, and so you've taken that one by storm. So say
I
a
don't know if I
good
wanna get rid of it
deed,
now.
man. I say you're stuck with it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good luck charm. But no, awesome job though tonight, Rick. Like I said, 2 more to go. So looking forward to see what you got for these final 2 races. So good luck the rest of the way, but enjoy this one, man.
Thanks, buddy.
All right,
Wow.
Matt, that is our race winner. But before we go anywhere, we got to pull up our final results to see where everybody else finished for your favorite drivers. As it was 24 hundredths of a second between Rick and Adam. Patrick Groover, their third. Ryan Decker, Kevin Fries, our top 5. Then right outside the top 5, Seth Groover, Maxwell Caldwell, Jack Walls, Brandon Briggs, Jim Brooks, top 10s. And then Nick Wing, Gabe Butler winds up 12th. I'm sure not the result he was hoping for, but still gaining a lot of spots there with being 2 down early. Ambrose Nabel, Andrew Pleshy, Eric Laurie, Mike Rimkus, unfortunately, you can see, I think, caught up in an incident towards the end of that race. And then just some bad luck, unfortunately, time for Bob Fitzgerald, Dean Wilkinson. We saw them get caught up in a couple incidents. And then, Tom Dixon, Brian Wang was looking so good until just it seemed like all the wrecks found him there. Carl Lingle and Bud Steele, unfortunately, I said just wrong place at the wrong time. And say that was one that, it's one of those races where just chalk it up to just no luck and just got to move to the next one.
Wow. Richard Sanchez is staying hot. He's on fire. I mean, he's doing great on Sundays, doing great here on Thursdays. I'm kind of shocked.
Time to get that man an open wheel contract.
Well, he's got a lot to learn for the open wheel contract, but it's you remember that. Well, I remember excuse me, when Richard first came here, and he was was kind of learning the ropes and everything, and but maybe just like a year later, now look at him, he's winning races.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. I tell you, it takes time, dedication, and a lot of races under your belt, and knowing when to pit, how to exit, and all that other stuff. And it's paying off for him. It's great on him, 100%.
Yeah, no, it's been impressive. And that said, Matt, we still got a little more racing to go before the end of the season. So obviously after tonight, there's 2 more to go there. We'll be back again on Sunday night for the trucks like you just mentioned. And I believe we're back here once more at Daytona there as well. So we will have another 75 lap. Yep, because we were off for Easter last week. So back to Daytona here coming up on Sunday. And so hope you enjoyed it tonight. Happy Friday Eve. Matt, as always, a pleasure doing these with you. I'll say hopefully you're okay without it being Boomer tonight. But like I said, Boomer, I hope you have so much fun, man. I look forward to hearing the stories because he's doing a 14-hour race at Daytona, real life Daytona, and everything. So it's gonna be really fun to hear about that. So again, everybody that watches, supports us, it means a ton. I really, really want to thank you. Super grateful for all the support, and it makes it fun to do. I have to admit, it makes it just that much more enjoyable. So hope you all have a wonderful evening, and as always, of course, stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in a few months' time on Sunday. Till then, have a great night.